Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the brand new Chrysler 300. This happens to be the 300S, the sporty one. And what's new about it? Well, obviously the design. The engines are a carryover. This is a mid-cycle refresh, as I recently found out when I had the chance to talk to the head designer for Chrysler about the design language and where this car is going. And that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. All right, so this is your baby.
Correct.
Right, tell me about what you guys have done, and feel free to walk around and kind of show me what's different with the new refreshed 300 versus the older one.
Sure. So really, the key on the car was really to develop a new personality with the front end, to really give it a bolder presence, give it something that was really impactful on the road that people took notice of. The 300 has a rich history, as you know, dating back to 1955 with the C300. To a lot of the Ghia concept cars of that era, and in 2005 we came out with a car that had a bold presence and
Rough
with
Deals
yeah,
design.
correct, yeah, my boss, great guy, and so we wanted to go back to that 05 look and really give it a strong presence. We developed the car in 2011. We did a new 300 that really refined the car. A lot of beautiful lines, beautiful features, really gave it a nice refined look. And this was really our opportunity to get back to a little bit more impactful presence in the front end in particular.
So you're giving a little bit more attitude.
Yeah, attitude for sure. One of the other
guts and glory.
Correct, yeah. And as an American car company, Chrysler brand, we want to have that that presence and that recognizable attitude. In a sea of products that are maybe a little more mainstream, we want to be able to stand out and be something unique.
So kind of show me what you've done.
Sure. In addition to the bold front end, the grille is about 33% larger than today's 2011 vehicle, which gives it that strong presence. We've taken a lot of the DNA from our recently launched 200 as well, to give the vehicle and the brand a strong DNA tie. So we've done a mesh grille where the wing floats within that grille, again to just show that wing, that proud character. We've refined a lot of the chrome details. We've thinned those up around the perimeter of the grille. We've taken the amber reflex from the side of the lamp and relocated it on the fender, again consistent with 200, and that gives us a really clean, nice,
all white light, basically.
Yeah, beautiful white, clean, modern look. In the lower fascia, the Mobius strip, which is the bright element that you see below there, ties the central opening into the fog lamps, again just to give it that unity, and that's again a cue that's consistent with the 200. Obviously the side of the car, we've done a new series of wheels as well that are a little more athletic, a little more expressive, a little more dynamic than our current series of wheels. Again, just to capture that attention of somebody on the road. We don't want to just people say, well, that's a nice wheel. We want people to say, well, I'm really attracted, that looks great. Where can I get that car?
All right, so we're on the inside of this car, and obviously this is the top of the line, so this is kind of your best foot forward. Tell me about the materials you use. They're soft, the wood is open grained. It seems like it feels very expensive.
Yeah, no, this is the premium model, the Platinum Edition C. Fully wrapped leather IP, beautifully stitched with nice detailing. As you mentioned, the open pore wood as well gives it a very, very clean look, very nice finish. We have a new cluster for 2015 connected to the 200, very beautifully detailed with the gauges on the outboard side, more of an analog look, and a new TFT screen, full color screen in between the two. So it's a really nice contrast between the traditional gauges and the very high-tech
Why
cluster.
did you go with digital gauges? Why did you stay with the analog ones?
Yeah, so we wanted to, obviously the brand Chrysler, has a rich history. So we felt that the gauges, had a good connection to the history, to the past. We think our customers appreciate that handcrafted, look. But we know that technology is moving forward, so we wanted to make sure there was a good blend of the two, and we think that's a really nice blend. And from a touchscreen standpoint, we have an 8.4-inch screen here as well, which is the largest in the segment. And that technology, again, you can use as a touchscreen, but we also have redundant controls down below as well. And we think, again, our customers appreciate the ability to go wherever they'd like to control elements in the car.
I'm talking about this interior color combination. It's a really interesting contrast.
Sure. This is the indigo and linen combination, and it's a really rich blue. It's a very deep blue, inspired by the ocean and the beaches in terms of the sand color, and it really gives the car a lot of pop, a lot of drama. Beautiful waffle pattern on the doors and also on the seats. We have a new steering wheel as well, which is really fantastic. Has a two-tone look with the indigo on the outside and the linen on the inside. All of your controls are centrally located on the steering wheel, and a nice bright element that separates the two. Really nice look.
So when you design a car like this, how much time goes into actually coming up with the concept? You said that this was based on contrast, based on the beach. Is that something that your designers go and come up with originally, or do you come up with the color combination and then come up with the marketing? And so I guess I'm asking which came first, the chicken or the egg?
No, I think a lot of it comes from the designers in the color and trim studio. They travel some to get inspired. They obviously see a lot of things on the internet. It's amazing what you can find on the internet in terms of imagery, and this was in particular inspired more by La Jolla, California. So they've really gone after that look. When we're designing the car, obviously in the early stages of the overall theme, we're obviously always keeping in mind in terms of a monochromatic look. It's got to look good that way, and then how could we do a two-tone look as well? So in general terms, we're thinking about those things, but it really in parallel is the color and trim development to the design development of the car.
And how does it work in terms of kind of generational? Obviously, a younger generation would probably find that it's very old school, but older generation might find this too new school.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you walk that tightrope?
Well, we have a why strategy, and Andy talked about it in his earlier remarks in terms of basically we have an S model that's more youth oriented, which blacks out a lot of the details, both the inside the car and outside the car. So it gives it a more subtle, more sort of stealth, more sinister kind of look. For a person that's younger or younger at heart. Honestly, the age demographic, we've gone younger with the S model, but we also get people that are young at heart that like that look too. And then there's obviously the more traditional beauty, the premium beauty that the C Platinum has with the bright accents. In this case, more of a satin chrome finish. And we think that Y strategy has really done well for us to capture demographics young and old.
Yeah, it must be difficult because it's a moving target, right?
Sure, yeah. And it's one of those things where trends develop very quickly, and the development of a car is a little longer, obviously, than fashion trends. So that's where our color and trim team really does need to make sure they're looking into the future and make sure that they develop finishes and materials that not just look good for a short period, but obviously will look good, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, that kind of thing.
All right, so you were saying on the rear of the car, which we have here, and this is the new Platinum edition, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. 300C Platinum,
yes,
top
C
of the
Platinum.
line.
Yep.
The everything in.
Yeah, this is the flagship for
car.
sure. Yeah, well, it starts lower as a
right.
low base price, but reaches up to that fully loaded. So we've done a new tail lamp as well, full LED tail lamp with the stop function in the middle, a very nicely evenly lit halo for the tail function as well. Again, a consistent cue between this car and the 200. This car, obviously, it's a little more of a formal statement with the vertical emphasis. 200 is horizontal, but we think some of those details, tie the DNA of the cars together, which we think is really important for a strong brand DNA. New rear fascia as well, with more minimal use of bright work. Like I mentioned on the front grille, we've toned the bright work down, and in this case done the same with a beautifully sculpted rear bright piece. New rear fascia with, full shapes, hard edge details, but very elegantly drawn. The rear end, we also wanted to give it a little bit of a lift, taper the plan views in to give it a little more athletic look. We've done a new rear valance panel down below that's shown in black that houses the rear reflex, the red elements down below, and also the dual exhaust tips that are integral to the rear fascia. Today's 2011 car, we have round exhaust tips that look,
Right.
obviously nice, but, more mainstream. So these are more unique with the horizontal look. Again, all of those elements are a direct connection to the 200 as well.
So I suspect that when you're designing a car like this, right? I mean, you guys are having serious conversations about how many millimeters that brightwork should be.
Yeah, sure.
So what's it like when you finally see it on the product and you see it on the road? Do you think people notice that, or is it the entire composition?
I think obviously it helps when we, are able to tell journalists, here are the details,
Yeah.
and then you point them out in, articles and in interviews and so on. I think that helps inform the public, but I think just from an overall standpoint, we sweat the details, because if you don't, the whole composition doesn't come together. So I think the composition is what the average customer sees as the overall impact. Some customers obviously are into the details, they're enthusiasts, and they'll notice every little thing. But I think in general, it's the overall composition that people notice for sure.
All right, here's the softball question. What's your favorite part from a design standpoint of the new model?
Sure. I think it probably has to be the front end. I think that's really the key to the new face of Chrysler, the new presence that the vehicle has. But beyond that, there's a lot of refinement and a lot of what we've done both on the front and rear end of the car, the wheel designs, obviously the color, all the new finishes on the interior.
So everything.
Yeah, everything. But I did answer the grill first, so at least you got your softball answer on the grill, so that's good.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah,
really
thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah, appreciate it.